turn it back to you because we have got some really important business to get to on this call. Very excited about our trainer today, Leon. It is. I'm sending it back your way.
Thanks so much, Mike. Thank you so much for being on today. Thank you for the great information. I love hearing the successes of the week. So many more comments coming in with even other successes happening. So thank you guys for sharing those. Thank you for sending those in. Thank you for sharing again here on our call today. Love to see all the good things you guys are doing and the lives that you're changing, the people that you're helping out. So awesome. All right, moving along, I am super excited. Our speaker today, if you haven't had an opportunity to spend time with her, well, today's your lucky day. Dory Doyle is one of our amazing goal leaders out of the great state of Virginia. She is a married mom of two. She's got two amazing kids and an awesome husband. She does so much. Like, she does so much for young women. She does so much for her business. She is always busy. She's always on the go. She's an author. She's a podcaster. I think one of the coolest things about Dory, and one of the things that she's kind of known for, is that she takes complicated things and she makes them simple and easy to follow. And that's a talent, and it's something that is just so needed all the time. Be able to take some complicated things and kind of make it simple and make it easy to understand for her team. Make sure that they're moving in the right direction. She does an amazing job with her team. She leads her team day in, day out, and she does an amazing job getting them to where they need to be with their Young Living organization and helping them as they grow and become that leader that she wants them to be. So without further ado, I will turn the time over to Dory. Dory, the time is yours.
Oh my goodness. Leon, thank you so much for that introduction. Let me just stop blushing for a couple minutes. That is so wonderful. Thank you. So what I want to do is I'm going to ask if any of this sounds familiar or you know someone like I'm about to explain, just go ahead and leave some comments or give me some hearts. All right, you ready for this? So I'm going to introduce you to the Young Living Unicorn. Now, she is the person who got her kit and had her reference book memorized the first week. She hit her business goals every single week. She just wrote them down, tackled them, knocked them out. She has 3,000 friends on Facebook and none of them use Young Living. She has the best fashion. I mean, seriously, she could put an outfit together like you would not believe. She has beautiful pictures all over her feed. She has flawless skin. Men love her. Women want to be her. She picks 3 oils, puts them in the diffuser, and they always smell amazing. She cooks these wonderful gourmet meals that are full of organic vegetables, and they're plated beautifully. She never has a stain on her shirt. She has amazing testimonials, and she went from 0 to silver in 60 seconds. Okay, does that sound familiar? Do we have any unicorns here? Well, maybe we're a unicorn ourselves. Here's something I'm going to share with you. I don't think that we have anyone that is truly a unicorn, but we can all have unicorn moments. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So let me, instead of the unicorn, share the reality with you. So I am a mom that has children with special needs. It seems like every picture that I take is blurry, so I have to take 500 pictures of one thing to get one good picture. I am a mommy mobile. I am also a homeschooling mama that teaches in the morning so that I can be an entrepreneur in the afternoon. I hire a professional photographer to take some family pictures, and one of the best pictures was this one. Yeah, exactly. Do you see something wrong with this picture that a professional photographer took? Anyway, so you can see life is messy. And that is just how it is. So let me tell you a little bit more. I have been a member of Young Living since August 15th, 2014. And when I got those oils and smelled them for the first time, I dove right in. I started sharing the day my kit arrived. I had no stories other than the fact that I loved the smell of these oils and my excitement over it. I did not know the compensation plan. I had no experience, no marketing plan whatsoever. And I told my enroller, I am not a builder. Please don't ask me about the business. But what I did was the same thing over and over and over again. I would learn something, I would turn around and share it with whoever wanted to hear it. And that's what I did. Over and over again, I was doing that same thing. 14 months later, after doing this repeatedly, I hit silver for the first time. I was a unicorn, or at least I thought I was, but I'll tell you that did not last. So I started in management mode almost immediately after I got to silver for the first time. I even stopped using some of the products that had gotten me to the health that I had attained at that point. So I thought that as a young living leader, that what I needed to do, it needed to change, because now I'm a silver, now I'm a leader, now I should do something different. So I stopped teaching workshops and I stopped sharing about the product. I started doing incentives, training with other educators. I got up in this sparkle of what silver meant. And then I lost my rank for 9 months. I also, during that time, lost my fire. Now, it took going to convention for the first time for me to figure something out. I am just one part of something so much bigger. It was so much more than this local Young Living bubble that we had created that made up all of what Young Living is. I realized that we are more than oils and that this is truly a lifestyle. And if I wasn't ready to commit and investigate how I could live holistically, then why was I doing this? So why was I going to use this little bottle of oils if I wasn't also going to look into how other natural products can positively work towards my health? I also realized something else. I needed to get back to what got me to silver in the first place. I had to use my oils consistently. I needed to share passionately and genuinely about my experiences. And I had to do it over and over and over again. Now, good news is, once I got back from that trip, from convention, 3 months later, I got back to silver, and that was about 2 years after I got my kit, and then I got to gold a year after that. Has it been easy since then? No, nothing is easy, but at the same time, it is so rewarding. And the beauty of Young Living and the beauty of this business is that we can take every day and we can hit the reset button. We can learn from our mistakes and we can move forward. So here's what I want to share with you. I want to share that it's time for us all to stop overthinking. That life is complicated, that we don't make our young living experience or our business experience, we don't need to make that complicated. So here's what I want us all to do. Grab whatever oil is closest to us. For me, it's Valor, which is my favorite. And I want you to put a drop in your hand. Let it be slow. Take that moment. Whoop. And I'm dropping my oils. I'm gonna use all of that. All right, rub your hands together 3 times and take 3 breaths. Oh yes, I'm doing it with you. That's the simplicity. We can all do that. Take an oil, put it in our hands, and take 3 deep breaths. So I realized 5 years into this business, now here I am almost 7 years in, but I realized 5 years in that we have a natural cycle, a list of 3 core things to be a brand partner that we are going to do over and over and over again. The first is experiencing the product. So what does that mean? Does that mean that we're buying everything from the catalog? No. It means that all of us have something, maybe a few things that we're working on. Maybe it is making sure that our digestion stays well, or that our emotions are elevated. Maybe it could be relating to physical fitness or sleep or relationships, but we're all working on something. So we pick a product or a couple I always say start with one, and then you can always build on that and really allow yourself to experience it. So just like we did with that oil, that you took that oil and took 3 deep breaths, chances are you experienced it in a way that you didn't maybe a month ago, because it's always going to be changing. Our bodies are always changing. So I have a member that did this as she was getting new products, these gifts with purchases. She said, okay, I'm going to commit to this one oil this whole week, and she documented it on social media. And for her, that oil was patchouli. She was not a fan of the smell of patchouli initially, but by the end of that week, she was like, oh, this has really grown on me. She was using it. I mean, anytime she would reach for an oil, that would be the oil that she did. And so she really allowed herself that opportunity. And so I love that we can all take one oil or one product and really experience it. And then we can share that information with others. So I started this when I started on Essential Rewards, now subscribe to save. I started doing that, one new to me product every single month. And here I am, 82 months in, and that's a lot of new products. And my enroller loves me for that. But we find some that we love, some that might not be the right fit for us, but we have stories to tell because we've allowed ourselves those new experiences. So that leads us into the second step. So the first is we've experienced the product. The second is we tell our stories. So we have the experiences, and what do we do about that? We have to tell people about that. That is a big part of how we build a business with Young Living. And it's not just on social media. We can do this belly to belly as well. We get in front of people and we tell our stories. People don't purchase based on facts. They purchase based on a connection. And stories are how we get there. So what is more powerful? When we have the comment of lavender is calming, it's soothing to the skin, it's great for sleep, and it's the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. Well, all those are true, but you don't have any sort of connection to lavender because of that. So instead, what we could say is, I was an exhausted mom of 10-month-old twins. I put this oil in their room in the diffuser, and for the first time, they slept through the night. That was when I became a believer in essential oils. Do you see how now when we tell a story, it's a totally different ballgame? So how do we actually tell our stories? This is where it's so simple. The first is that we have a problem, something that is just not going well. The second part is what do we do about it? And the third is how we feel now. So, another story. I just told you one, here's another one. I was getting really nervous because I was going to be speaking to a whole lot of my peers, and I was just not sure if I was prepared for it. So what did I do? I took my Valor, I put a drop in my hands, and I took 3 deep breaths. Finally, I felt like I could settle my racing heart and I could take a good breath and be ready for what was to come. Okay, see? Problem, action, and then the solution. So that's what we do. We tell our stories. And then the third part is that we need to have a system to do this every single day. We only have so many hours in a day. None of us are perfect. None of us are devoting every single hour, every single waking hour to this. We can do this in manageable chunks, or we can do this in larger chunks as well. But we have to focus our time so that we can reach our goals. So we have to build a simple system, and all of us, that's individualized. Everyone is going to have a different system. But for me, what I do is the center of that is relationships. Things that I have done with the people that I love and the people that I have met for the first time, they become part of my circle. And so I am all about relationships and relationship building. And with that, I do my IPA tasks. IPA stands for income producing activities. So these are the things that are going to lead me forward in my business. So what does that look like for me? I have 5 things that I do every day that I'm approaching my business. The first is that I have a goal check-in. This is where I'm looking at whatever my current goal is at the time. Maybe it's enrollment, maybe it's customer spending habits, or orders that haven't been closed yet, or people that have gone to workshops but haven't necessarily, haven't followed through with. So I create some follow-through tasks based on whatever that goal is. Then I'm going to, the second thing that I do every day is that I look at who's on my prospective list, and I reach out to those people who are not yet customers as friends. And so that is an empowerment technique. So that is really working towards building that relationship. It is an income producing activity when I am building and strengthening that trust in those relationships. The next thing that I do is customer service, is that I'm reaching out to current customers as a part of that. And so with customer service and with all these IPAs, there are 3 E's that I like to mention. One of them is that I educate. So when I'm reaching out to my customers, sometimes it's education, sometimes it's enrollment, helping them get started, whether it is enrollment as a brand partner, whether it is enrollment in Subscribe to Save, or even those not yet members who are about to become members, so that enrollment as well. And then the last E is empowerment. So that's something else that I am doing when I'm reaching out to my customers, is empowering them in their abilities. So those are the first 3 things, but also every day I'm raising my lid of leadership. So I'm not focused on making, if I am not focused on making myself and my business the best it can be and doing little bits to increase it every single day, then my business is going to be stagnant. So I am raising my ability so that I can raise my entire business. And I do this through podcasts, through listening to podcasts, through books, meaningful conversations, through coaching. All of this is helping raise my business up. And then also the last thing that I do is sharing. I share every single day. I am teaching, educating, passing on little tidbits of information. It doesn't have to be a full class. It just has to be, I'm going forward and sharing something with someone else. And I do this by setting reminders on my phone. That is what works for me. Some people, a to-do list works great. For me, that's what I do. I have an app on my phone that's just a to-do list. It has my grocery list. It has the things that I need my kids to do. It has my honey-do list for my husband. And it has my business tasks as well. And so I can just check it off, and I love it because this app, this is my personality. It goes bing when I've done something. So it's just very fulfilling when I've completed a task. And then every day it reminds me, hey, gotta do them again. And so I get up and I do it over and over and over again. So I'm telling you from experience, years ago, I overcomplicated it. I tried to do all the things. And then when I reached my big goal, I changed what I did. And that's what caused trouble for me. I thought that I was growing my unicorn horn, and I was wrong. And it was just too much. What I was doing, what I was trying to accomplish was just too much. And so I needed to simplify it. And once I did, I could focus on what was important. The people that were in front of me, they were what was important. They were the perspectives and the customers and the people in my community. Those were my future prospective members. I established routines to make sure that I could do those simple steps, using the product, sharing the product, and coming up with those repeated steps. I could do that over and over again. And I'll tell you, the last couple of years haven't been easy personally, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that can say that. And because of what I put in place, because of all of that, even in some of those times when we have these difficult seasons in our lives, we're able to keep moving forward because we've simplified and because we know what we need to do to move forward. My business continued even during these really tough times in my life, and the roots in my business just got deeper and stronger. And that is the power of consistency. That's the power of simplicity. That's the power of just going and doing one step at a time. Okay, so all that being said, I would love for you to reach out to me and we can chat further about any of this, or if you just want to see what my messy, non-unicorn life looks like, you are welcome to follow me on Instagram. I am at Dory Doyle, and you can see what it looks like, how I combine all of my interests in one space. I love to see that because that's telling my story, and that's what it's about. So you are going to get a lot of benefit, not by seeing what magical superpowers my kids have, but by joining communities. So it's great if you follow me, but join a community, be a part of something, reach out and lock arms with people and get that inspiration, get that motivation so that you can move forward. My one last thought is that no one is really a unicorn. We all have unicorn moments, but please don't tell my daughter that unicorns don't exist because she really wants one for her birthday. With that, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dory. Oh my gosh, such great information. I'm sitting here taking notes like crazy. I think the underlying tone of everything that you shared today, like I think that everything you shared was great. I love what you said about experiencing the products and helping others to really have that true experience with the products. And then how important it is the way that we tell our stories, right? How we can connect with people and make sure that we're creating those connections. I love that. I love the 3 E's with the IPAs, educating, enrollment, empowering. And I think the overall message today was honestly that I think is so important that we take is that we have to be consistent in all we do. I love the tasks that you have on your phone as being consistent day in, day out, making sure that we stay consistent and finding ways to simplify it, finding ways to make it simple. And I know Dory does that best. And I think that if we can each take that a few notes from that, take a little bit of that, find ways to be a little bit more consistent, find ways to simplify the things that we're doing, and then take some of the steps that Dory shared about IPAs and creating those connections, we're going to all be in a really, really good spot. So thank you so much for being on, Dory. Really appreciate you being on this week. Thank you all for spending some time with us this Monday morning. Can't wait to get convention kicked off in 2 days. So super excited for that. Super excited to spend some more time with you.